Ever feel like you're drowning in digital marketing advice?
Oh, absolutely.
Like every article, every post just throws more and more at you,
Yeah,
and it's always changing. Well, that's why we're here. We're
exactly.
diving into your stack of articles, all those notes,
Yeah,
and we're going to cut through the noise, find what actually makes a difference,
that's the goal.
what really works,
Yeah,
and not just clicks or likes.
right. It's got to be more than that.
We're talking about turning those scrollers, those casual viewers,
Absolutely.
into loyal, engaged people.
It's about building those relationships.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not just about, fleeting interaction.
Really?
It's about making those connections that last.
And my notes are packed, by the way, with different approaches.
Oh, I bet.
We've got social media, content marketing,
Right.
SEO. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it can seem like a lot.
It's overwhelming.
It is.
But that's what I'm seeing in here again and again, this idea of a strategy.
Key.
It's not enough to just be online.
Right. Exactly. You have to be purposeful.
Yeah.
You need a plan.
So it's less about like shouting from the rooftops
Yes.
and more about like
It's a focused approach.
a handwritten letter.
Yes. Like you said, a handwritten invitation to the right people.
Okay, and one of these articles actually calls it out.
Oh, really?
This idea of targeted reach, being so specific.
That's so important.
It's not for everyone.
No.
You're pinpointing the exact type of person.
And the beauty is you can actually measure it online.
Okay, so no more of that. What's it called?
Throwing spaghetti at the wall?
Yes. Hoping something sticks.
Exactly. You can see what's working, what's not.
And one of the articles used this term, cost effectiveness.
Which is huge, right?
Okay, so explain that, because it sounds good.
You're not just spending on marketing,
Oh.
you're investing.
Okay.
You're getting these data-driven insights.
Oh, I see. So it tells you what's resonating.
Precisely. And you can adjust as you go.
So we're not just guessing and hoping.
No more of that.
We can actually see what's happening.
It's all trackable.
Okay, and this is where it got really interesting for me.
Okay, tell me.
One of the sources, it had this case study.
Mm-hmm.
This company, they use content marketing.
Content is king, or so they say.
And they went from 0 to like 100,000 subscribers
Whoa! That's impressive growth.
in a year.
Okay, but what was their secret? What were they doing?
So their strategy, it seemed really simple.
Okay.
Create amazing content
That people actually want.
that people want to read, want to share.
See, they understood that content isn't just king.
It's like the whole kingdom.
Exactly. It's everything in the digital world.
Okay, so it's not enough to just churn it out.
No, it has to be good.
It's got to be high quality. It's got to be relevant.
And it has to resonate with the right people.
And that seems to be the key, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Understanding your audience.
Yeah.
Knowing what they need.
Figuring out what makes them tick.
And then giving it to them in a way that they love.
Okay, so we're going to dig more into that.
I'm ready.
Because these sources, they've got some really interesting insights on that.
Let's dive in.
So they figured out what their audience actually wanted, and then they gave it to them.
That's the key, right?
And in a way that was engaging.
It can't just be useful. It's got to be interesting.
Yeah, totally.
And that's actually a good transition because one of the things I kept seeing
Yeah.
in your notes alongside all this strategy talk was about the tools.
Oh, yeah.
Because we can talk about high-level stuff all day long,
Right.
but at some point, you got to get tactical.
Now, I've got a whole bunch of them written down here.
I bet you do. What are you seeing?
Google Analytics,
Classic.
Hootsuite,
Oh.
social media.
MailChimp. This is a whole other world.
Oh, yeah, email. That's a big one.
So are these just like buzzwords?
They're definitely industry standards,
Okay.
but they don't have to be intimidating.
Okay, good.
Think of them like trusty sidekicks
Okay.
helping you on your digital journey.
I like that.
Take Google Analytics, for example.
It's like having X-ray vision into your website.
Oh, yeah.
You see exactly how people are finding you, what
Yeah.
they're clicking on,
No way.
how long they're sticking around.
You could see all that.
All of it. It's amazing.
Wow. Okay.
So that's just one example, but you mentioned Hootsuite.
Yeah.
That's your social media manager, best friend.
What does that do exactly?
Scheduling posts.
Okay.
Tracking engagement.
Okay.
You've even seen what folks are saying about you online.
Oh, I see. So like monitoring your brand
Reputation management, all that jazz.
so you can stay organized, stay on top of it.
And most importantly, you can stay informed.
Okay. But even with the best tools, best intentions,
There's always room for error.
there's got to be some things people mess up.
Oh, absolutely.
What are we talking about? Give me the pitfalls.
All right, so the biggest one I see constantly,
Yeah.
neglecting SEO,
SEO.
search engine optimization.
Oh, right. That thing.
You could have the most stunning website,
Okay.
but if it's not optimized, no one's finding it.
It's like, what's that saying? A tree falls in the forest.
Exactly. If Google can't find you, do you even exist online?
I actually made this mistake. Oh, a while back.
Oh, no. Tell me everything.
I spent, like, hours on this blog post.
Okay.
That was great.
I'm sure it was.
No one read it.
Because you forgot the SEO?
I didn't do any SEO. I didn't even think about it.
It happens to the best of us.
So that's what SEO is, like putting up signs.
It's like putting up a giant billboard on the internet highway.
So people can find their way to your little corner of the web.
Precisely. You got to make it easy for people to discover you.
Okay, good to know. All right, what else? What else? What other pitfalls?
Another classic, inconsistency.
Inconsistency, okay.
You can't just show up once a month
Right.
and expect amazing results.
You got to keep at it.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Like tending a garden, you got to water it regularly.
Oh, I like that.
You can't just plant some seeds and walk away.
Right, you got to nurture it.
Exactly. Digital marketing needs that same care.
Okay, so consistency is key, all right.
But here's the thing, even with consistency,
What?
you got to be willing to adapt.
Adapt.
The digital world, it's constantly shifting.
Oh, yeah, it moves so fast.
What worked last year might not work today.
So you're saying you can't just, like, set it and forget it.
Nope. Got to stay flexible, experiment, be ready to pivot.
And that's where the data comes in, right?
Exactly. We talked about it earlier, remember?
Yeah, the tracking.
It's not enough to just collect data.
Okay.
You got to analyze it, make it work for you.
Because honestly, sometimes it feels like looking at a bunch of numbers.
I hear you. It can be overwhelming.
And I'm like, what do I do with this?
Well, that's where the magic happens.
Okay.
Data analysis, it's about finding the story behind the numbers.
Okay.
It tells you what your audience is doing,
Okay.
how your campaigns are performing,
Okay.
and most importantly, how to improve.
It's like a secret weapon.
It absolutely is your competitive edge.
So instead of being overwhelmed by it, we should be excited about it.
Data is your friend. It helps you get better results.
Okay, I like that perspective.
So we've talked about mistakes. Let's switch gears a bit.
Yeah, let's get positive.
One of your sources had a really interesting point
Okay.
about storytelling.
Ooh, storytelling.
Yeah, have you heard that one before?
Everyone's talking about storytelling these days.
There's a reason for that.
Why? What's so special about it?
In a world overflowing with content, stories cut through.
They stand out.
They grab you, they connect with you on a deeper level.
Okay, so it's not just about, like, features and benefits.
Nope, it's about the why, the who, the how.
It's about the feeling.
Exactly. Think about the brands you love.
Yeah.
What's their story? What do they stand for?
Oh, I get it.
They make you feel like you're part of something bigger.
Okay, I'm thinking of a few right now.
See? That's the power of a good story.
It sticks with you.
And the beautiful thing is, everyone has a story.
Oh, that's true.
It's about finding yours, sharing it authentically.
That's really encouraging to hear.
Because sometimes we get lost in the technical stuff, you know?
Yes.
We forget about the human element.
The heart,
Exactly. And at the end of the day,
Yeah.
digital marketing, it's about connection.
connecting with people.
And what better way to do that than through story?
It really is about the human element, isn't it?
Always.
It's so easy to get caught up in the numbers and the algorithms.
Oh, tell me about it.
But you're right, it always comes back to people, connecting with people.
And that actually reminds me of another big takeaway from your research.
Okay, what's that?
Building a strong community.
Community, right? Everyone's saying that now.
It's more than just a buzzword, though.
Okay, so what does it actually mean then? Like, practically speaking.
It's about creating a space online
Okay.
where your audience feels like they belong.
So it's more than just, like, following a brand on social media.
Way more. It's about two-way interaction.
So instead of just broadcasting a message.
It's about dialogue engagement.
Okay, so like a conversation then, not just a lecture.
Exactly. Think about it. Would you rather listen to someone talk at you?
Or be part of the discussion.
Exactly. And when you build a community,
People feel heard?
valued, seen, like they're part of something,
That's powerful.
and they become your biggest fans,
Okay, but how do you actually do that?
well, it starts with knowing who you're trying to reach.
Right. Like we talked about before, your target audience.
You got it. Find out where they hang out online, what they care about.
Yeah, man.
Create content that resonates, start conversations.
So even just like asking a question on Instagram.
Could be enough to get people talking, feeling connected.
Okay, so we've covered a lot.
A lot. We've barely scratched the surface, really.
Strategy, tools, storytelling.
Community building, data analysis. Oh my.
It's a lot to take in, but it's exciting.
It is. And the main thing to remember,
Yeah.
there's no one right way to do digital marketing.
Find what works for you.
Exactly. For your brand, your audience, your goals.
Experiment, adapt, stay true to who you are.
And never stop learning. This landscape is always changing.
That's